a national software directory to be able to start to address the system.
Not even just to address it, what about to recognize the security breaches? Because it's one thing for you to have products that you feel can combat, you know, this fraud in the system, but it's another thing for you to recognize it even before it actualizes into a risk.
Yes, if we look at what Wale Otelade is doing, they, of course, are hackers that are recognized by FBI. They are Nigerians, and of course, they have established a lab at Igboshire there. They watch what is happening all over the world. And I was amazed too when I went in there. For every hour, you're having more than almost 240,000 hacking events going on, real life.
Simultaneously.
Real life simultaneously, all over the world. You can see where they are trying to penetrate, okay? The penetration event. Sometimes you see Nigerians' penetration is dormant, is zero, nothing's happening. But internally, there's a lot of hidden activities that are happening. So what we are saying is that you need to have a super layer of your security where you outsource professionals to be able to watch the internal happenings of what you are doing. And I think that's probably what is not being done presently.
So going back to that, why is it that we do not have a system, just like what you just mentioned, where we're tracking these criminals in real time to find out which banks or which banks are they likely to hit even before they do that? Because it also now, you know, makes people wonder if we're really safe at all. Are we safe using any of the electronic platforms, for instance? Do we continue to use electronic platforms and trust the banks to keep our money safe for us?
Really, financial inclusion is an issue that is globally, you know, being recognized as the way to go. We must be part player in the electronic transaction interface, but then we must also play by the rules. We must be able to acquire the right infrastructure. We must be able to train the right capacity. We must be able to enhance the capability of those who do these things, okay? And we must be able to challenge people. I'll give you an example. There are countries like Singapore. Singapore has government hackers. That is, you have two sides, those who defend and those who hack. So you hack to make sure that you can penetrate against those defense corps. And if you win, they exchange you into the defense. The other guy goes into hacking, okay? So this thing is like having football or soccer teams or whatever, and you know your best man, okay? And you can deploy them. So the aspect of, for example, foreign softwares that are manufactured in XYZ of a country are deployed here, but they will never bring their best man to support you because they are having all the other accounts all over the world. So if a foreign software manufacturer has, say, 500 core software potential resource, probably the first to the 308 will never come to Nigeria because they are needed elsewhere. So they'll bring you some redundant manpower here who probably are novice, who uses your environment as guinea work.
Does the Nigerian banking system have the equipment, the infrastructure to find these criminals before they find them?
Yes and no, because you're talking about infrastructure. Infrastructure spans from the broadband interface to the servers, to the internet, to the satellites. So the way you can do that is probably to create what they call dry cell filter. Dry cell filter is that you can make a transaction that is internal within us here. But how does your customer get to you? Then you open another cell that enables them. But that will not be real time. But you want the real time to pay in here, a writer pays in here, somebody collects it in Abuja and over. That's real time. But how does this thing work? We have to know how it works, what are the risks, and is it efficient for those people who are doing it. One aspect really is how do we create a national gateway? The national gateway so that our transaction remains local.
We also have local hackers, Dr.
Uwaje. Yeah, we do. But
so we're now making a national circle and keeping everything inside there, and we're just like sitting ducks. so to speak.
No, no, Henrietta. You see, the aspect is that if I'm transacting an information to you from this point A to point B, or from point A to multiple points, the risk we face is that, first of all, my data goes external, okay, before it comes internal. So it expounds, of course, the vulnerability of my system. But if I have a coverage, why should my data go out if I only need it to be able to go in? So that architecture has to change. We need to have a national gateway that all data reports to. And if you're going to have a ventilated output, then automatically you go out, like the internet. The internet is external, whereas the intranet is internal. And we can have a country gateway to be able to do that. But one important thing is that the vulnerability of these hackers will increase, and that of the banks, unless we all migrate into IPv6. IPv6 is that internal, the traffic protocol version 6 that enables each, even if your cell phone, your rings, your fridge will have an identifier.